For the first time, America's Cup racing comes to Europe. The first venue, Marseille, where pomp and ceremony mark the beginning of the quest for the 32nd America's Cup. 6 syndicates were on the start line for Act 1. Emirates Team New Zealand sees the Kiwis back in the fray. The 2-time winners and defeated holders from 2003 have a well-funded campaign seeking to avenge their defeat in Auckland. BMW Oracle Racing, headed by computer tycoon Larry Ellison, is the challenger of record. Louis Vuitton finalists in 2003, they're one of the favourites for 2007. The K Challenge from France is led by America's Cup veteran Dawn Riley. The team is short of cash and hopes a good showing here will change that. Shosholoza is the first ever challenge to come out of Africa. The popular newcomers from Cape Town won't be short of support, but they have a lot to learn. Le Défi from France competed in various guises in the last 2 cups, but while they can call in experience, they're also still short on funding. And finally, the cup holders, Alinghi. The Swiss syndicate defied the odds to win the cup in 2003 as first-time challengers, and boss Ernesto Bertarelli and his Kiwi skipper Brad Butterworth plan to keep it. Their journey to the 32nd America's Cup began in August when the 6 syndicates set up in Marseille, a huge logistical operation which emphasised the Cup's status as the Formula One of yachting. It's the first step on a long journey that will end in Valencia in 2007. As the first European city to host America's Cup racing, Marseille was also the first venue to witness the introduction of a spectacular new phenomenon for the event. Fleet racing allowed these magnificent yachts to display their heady combination of power and elegance en masse. The result, an exciting and testing series which saw BMW Oracle Racing top the leaderboard over Alinghi and Emirates Team New Zealand. The America's Cup is foremost a match racing regatta though, and the crews soon refocused on the task in hand. Flight 1, Match 2, BMW Oracle Racing against Emirates Team New Zealand.
Well, this is the first time we see the heavyweights of the America's Cup in Europe racing in anger. As the boats come up to the start line, Emirates Team New Zealand winning the windward end, the right-hand side of the start line. Oracle coming off the leeward position, beautiful conditions, great to see the boats sailing in the Mediterranean for the first time.
And this is actually the first time that BMW Oracle Racing has ever raced against Emirates Team New Zealand.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? Because you look back to the Auckland event, and of course Oracle didn't ever race against Emirates Team New Zealand because Emirates Team New Zealand were the defender and Oracle were on the challenger side of the Louis Vuitton Cup.
Okay, first mark here we see Emirates Team New Zealand ahead of BMW Oracle Racing. Not a lot in it though.
And immediately Oracle just jibe set at the top mark, splitting, looking for an advantage. And another innovation we can see is the bottom mark gate. That means that the trailing boat has the opportunity to make a tactical gain.
Which they have done. That's BMW Oracle Racing in the lead.
Tacking right in the bow of Emirates Team New Zealand. The New Zealand boat will have difficulty surviving in that position.
4 lengths on the mark.
That was Chris Dixon there in the back of the shot, skipper of BMW Oracle Racing.
Don't go in there. He's still overlap.
Boats now just coming down to the finish with Oracle maintaining her lead over Emirates Team New Zealand as they come down. Beautiful backdrop there of the Marseille as Oracle comes down towards the finishing line. Yellow flag indicating Oracle takes out the race.
Flight 3, match 1. Emirates Team New Zealand against Team Alinghi. Peter, this is a rerun. This is revenge time if they want to take it for Emirates Team New Zealand over Alinghi.
Well, right now it's 5-0 to Alinghi. This is the chance for the New Zealanders to get one back. But Alinghi there, just winning the start on the right. They look bow up, so the New Zealanders are trailing off the line.
Well, they won't be very happy with that. They're sailing the boat that they raced in.
Here we go, Paul going.
The new leader, Emirates Team New Zealand, Grant Dalton there, and
Problem on board Alinghi. They've had a halyard problem. It looks like the clip might have come undone and the genoa's fallen on the deck. They're rehoisting, but this will allow a chance for the New Zealanders to take the lead.
indeed they have, and that's not exactly the way they would have planned it, but they'll be pretty happy.
Take anything. So the New Zealanders now coming up towards the top mark. Nothing between them, they're only a boat length. Bear away set, we can see the Jenica going out under the Genoa as they head off downwind.
Alinghi chasing them down, but Emirates Team New Zealand won't want to make a mistake here. They'll want to keep this lead, and there'll be almost a desperation there, I suspect. It's a chance they don't want to let go begging, and they're not letting it go begging.
Well, the new team under Grant Dalton's leadership look like they're going to take out their first ever win over Alinghi.
Flight 3, Match 2, K Challenge v Le Défi. Now this is a bit of a local derby, the double French challenge here. And strictly speaking, while both are going to be going at it trying to impress the locals, the orange boat should win this one, Peter.
Well, the orange boat is a 2003 generation boat, 69, and 57, FRA 57, in fact, goes right back to 2000 generation. So really, Le Défi should be a bit faster.
And so it's proving to be. But the aim for both these teams really is to try and put up a good show so they can try and raise some more funds, because they're both a bit cash strapped at this stage.
Le Défi going on to win the race against K Challenge in the newer boat.
Taking the America's Cup on tour for the first time is already proving a success in Marseille. The locals lapping up the chance to witness the pinnacle of sailing firsthand. They warmed particularly to the underdog South Africans on Shosholoza, taking another beating here from BMW Oracle Racing, but also taking pride in their achievement in getting to the start line and competing. Flight 5, and first up it's Le Défi versus Shosholoza. The French team have had a slow start and they'll be looking for their second win.
Well, Le Défi, beautiful start. Already a boat length ahead as they come off the start line.
Big ask for Shosholoza. A bunch of rookies doing their best. Emirates Team New Zealand here leading the K Challenge from France, as expected. Good win here. That means that everything hinges on the final race of the regatta. The final race, a rerun of the Louis Vuitton final with BMW Oracle Racing up against the Cup holders Alinghi.
This will be a tight match. Alinghi look like they've elected to go to the leeward end or the pin end of the start line with 10 seconds to go. Oracle with Brad Webb, Bauman just coaxing the boat into the start. We can see Oracle in the windward position, Alinghi in the leeward position. Even start, slight advantage to Oracle. They have the power of the right, or that right-hand advantage, as Alinghi comes up onto the wind.
How many times are we going to see these two tangle over the next couple of years leading up to 2007, and they're very familiar to each other already.
The new format means the challenger can race against the defender. So coming up to a crucial cross with Oracle having a 1 boat length advantage on starboard as they come across the bow of Alinghi. I'd expect to see Oracle now to tack right in the face of Alinghi, forcing Alinghi back out to the left-hand side. Oracle tacking, bouncing Alinghi back to the left. Beautiful tack by Alinghi, and Alinghi have got a golden wind shift advantage in the left-hand side. You can see there it's gone out, so Alinghi at Mark 1 have taken the lead.
Good judgment or luck?
Bit of luck, they got bounced.
Ooh, that's not the slickest crew work I've ever seen off that boat. They're a little bit rusty here, Peter.
They wouldn't be so concerned about the crew work this early in the axe.
Bearing goes for us.
On Oracle here, checking their course.
Good advantage to Alinghi, around 4 or 5 boat lengths.
And Alinghi take it. Short course, up goes the blue flag.
We had a good last race. We are still a bit out of practice, but the team is coming together nicely, and I'm pleased with what I've seen during this week. Looking forward to the future.
Ernesto Bertarelli had good reason to be happy. So too did his counterpart, BMW Oracle Racing boss Larry Ellison.
We've done very well against the best competition in the world here in Marseille. So it's great to win Act 1, especially when you're able to prevail over 2 fabulous teams like Alinghi and New Zealand.
Marseille has provided a wonderful start for the 32nd America's Cup, but now all roads lead south to Valencia and Acts 2 and 3. Some of the finest sailors in the world have gathered in Valencia for the start of one of the world's greatest sporting events, culminating in the 2007 32nd America's Cup. The Mayor of Valencia welcomes politicians and dignitaries from around the world as the boats are paraded in front of the crowd. At the halfway point of Act 2, let's look back at the story so far.
Italians Luna Rossa, who didn't take part in Act 1 in Marseille, have turned out to be the surprise package, beginning a roll of 4 wins and just 1 defeat. Alinghi, the defending America's Cup team from Switzerland, the first time Europe have won the trophy, losing out to New Zealand for the very first time. And as for the New Zealanders, they've started well with their new campaign, and in the first 3 days here in Valencia, 4 wins and 1 defeat. A disappointing regatta so far for BMW Oracle Racing. They've lost twice in 5 starts, and this, remember, the team that won in Marseille just last month. Le Défi of France said to be short on funding, she's short on training time and short on victories. K-Challenge notched up 2 victories in the first 3 days. And from South Africa, Soshalosa, the first contender ever from the African continent, on a steep learning curve and seeking their first win. And finally, Vuitton, the Italian Challenge, the second Italian contender, a new player on the stage, an old boat on the water, and 1 win under their belt.
So to the leaderboard, and after 3 days of racing, Luna Rossa, Team New Zealand and Team Alinghi all have 4 victories. BMW Oracle Racing still with a bit to do. Let's get out on the water then with BMW Oracle Racing up against Alinghi, the big matchup of Act 2.
It's all about time and distance, trying to use up that time to get to the gun at full speed. And away we go then. On the committee side, Ernesto Bertarelli on the grinders, on the left-hand side there. that split tack start might make them a little nervous. They're a long way away from each other. Strong breeze now, and it's getting up over 20 knots at the moment. Beautiful boat, BMW Oracle Racing. And there's the distance between them as they head towards that first mark. It's about 3 lengths, but that's nothing in this wind. Up at the first mark, then BMW ahead. Oh, and that's a problem, a big problem. And Oracle, having started so well, that spinnaker has just gone bang. And they are completely underpowered at the moment, and the grinders will have a lot to do to sort this one out. And at that top mark, BMW Oracle Racing 22 seconds ahead of Team Alinghi. But obviously now Alinghi have seen a chance to pounce. And they are working at it. It was close. Breeze really freshening now, picking up to 25 knots at the third mark. But Oracle with the lead. Thrashing through the water. Meanwhile on board, Ernesto Bertarelli on the Alinghi team grinding and trying desperately to get back on level terms with the Americans. Oh no, and there goes the spinnaker, ripped on Alinghi. And it's trailing in the water, and that's an awful mess for the foredeck to sort out. Real problems now, and they're really having to work it. Handbrake. You can see BMW looking back. The Swiss still haven't got it out of the water, and that's going to give the Americans this victory. So the final winning margin of 1 minute, 15 seconds.
So that concludes round robin 1, but gusty winds have taken their toll. K Challenge won this morning, but batten damage means they missed their next race. And Le Défi managed to make it to the first mark against Luna Rossa, but damage forced the French to retire. Meanwhile, Emirates Team New Zealand enjoyed another victory, plus 39, feeling the force of the New Zealanders, who looked very strong at the end of round 1.
Today's been interesting with a bit more breeze, a bit more like Marseille really, and we've gone well. We've had 2 wins so far today with 1 to go.
A quick look at the table at the end of round robin 1. A rude awakening for BMW Oracle Racing and Alinghi, with Luna Rossa and Emirates Team New Zealand out in front. Match 4 at the pre-start, and BMW Oracle Racing are above the start line.
This is a very big one, match 4 at the pre-start. BMW Oracle up above the start line as the clock ticks down. And away they go then, opposite ends. By the look of things, BMW are turning back. Well, they've made the ultimate mistake, surely not. Well, Gavin Brady, helmsman, will be distraught. Chris Dixon and his team, with all that experience, can still get it wrong. They've got to go back now and restart. They jumped the start. Unbelievable. Such is the tension and pressure out there. 2 big boats. But even with all of that experience, the 18th man having trouble there staying on. But they turned quickly and they're back in pursuit, and they needed to. Home stretch then for BMW, Oracle and Luna Rossa. And look how fast they're going. Match 4 coming to its conclusion. Oh, and bang! That's it, spinnaker rips into shreds. Oh, that is awful for Luna Rossa. And there's nothing they can do. That slowed them right down. Look how quickly they're getting on it. And they know they've got to be quick on this one. You can see what happens when the spinnaker goes, bang, there it is. And look at the ground that BMW is starting to make up very quickly indeed. You can see they're slightly out of control. They're trying to fix it as quickly as possible. And as soon as they get it back up, they're in pursuit again. Great finish here between these 2 boats. 2 of the best crews they have at the moment here in Valencia. And they're trying everything they can. Luna Rossa trying just to stay right with Oracle, take a little bit of wind from them. But as they head there towards the finish line, Oracle look as though they're just about to hold it. This is a great display of racing by the Americans. And they let the spinnaker out, heading towards the mark. They let it right out. Oh, how far is that? They've just come across the line in the lead. And that's a great win for BMW. But wait a minute, it's the Italians celebrating. What's going on? Well, it appears that the umpires have penalised BMW. Their ropes touched the buoy, and Larry Ellison cannot believe it. Bertelli delighted, and the Italians cock a hoop.
Well, the umpire's role is really to make sure that the sailing is fair, and to be the people that are on the water that kind of resolve issues between the two boats. Well, we've got the basic one is the whistle that you sound when you give a penalty. We've got a bunch of flags here that we use to signal penalties. These are actually signal lights here that show the penalties. There's lights that are up on top of the umpire boat, and when we flick those on, the signal shows that they still have a penalty outstanding. It's a lot of just this concentration and knowing what the game is, and working well with the partner, and being able to make quick decisions.
The all-French duel now, K challenge against Le Défi.
At the third mark, there's a real battle going on here. Le Défi leading, approaching that mark. Oh no, though. That's a big problem. That spinnaker's just gone away on the foredeck crew. Strong breeze, and that's going to be a nightmare to get back. That really shouldn't happen at this level, and that's surely going to gift it to Le Défi. They head home. Oh no, and they've got problems too. Their spinnaker's completely shredded as they head down. Well, who'd have thought it? But of course, a slightly underfunded team, and this is probably about the 9th spinnaker they've gone through. The disappointment for them, but they've managed to repair it quickly and got underway. And by the end of it, they managed to stay ahead by just over a minute at the finish line.
It was pretty rough, a lot of wind, and we managed to break a spinnaker one more time. But at the end we won, so we are pretty happy altogether.
And with all those blown spinnakers, it's going to be a busy night for the sailmakers in the lofts. A new day, on to Flight 2 here in Valencia, the beautiful city in Spain.
Good wins for today as Team Alinghi take on Luna Rossa, one of the best matchups of the day. 17 men flat out on both boats before the start, a frantic pace. At the moment looking very good, Luna Rossa. Alinghi though not far behind, look how close they are. And at the gun, it is Luna Rossa getting away well, but Alinghi going alongside them. There's nothing really in it. You saw Luna Rossa bearing away there for a second, just frightened of crossing the line before the hoot-up. But Alinghi, defenders of the America's Cup, desperately wanted to carry on that form the first few acts of the 32nd America's Cup. Up to the first mark they go then. Alinghi with a slight lead. Peter Holmberg, Schumann and Butterworth have all done a great job as they head past that first mark. Could get the double here as they head towards another victory. Luna Rossa can do not a great deal about it at the moment. Away we go then. Still hard at work on both crews. They certainly haven't given up by any means. And they're attacking on this final leg. Excellent stuff. And in fact, they're overtaking. Well, Peter Holmberg won't believe his eyes. And sure enough, they have overtaken. The Italians have gone into the lead over the defenders. Fantastic. It was all under control, and suddenly from nowhere came the Italians, and they've stolen victory. Brilliant stuff. Excellent sailing. What a race.
And the other racers, Shosholoza, kept in touch for half of their race against Le Défi before eventually falling back by 58 seconds. Emirates Team New Zealand take another comfortable victory. This time the K Challenge falls to the Kiwis' great form. And BMW Oracle Racing, the Marseille Act 1 winners, have a much-needed win over plus 39. So after the second flight of round 2, Emirates Team New Zealand just ahead of Luna Rossa Challenge by 1 point, and BMW Oracle Racing and Team Alinghi fighting it out for third place. Now it's head-to-head in the battle of the big guns. Alinghi's Peter Holmberg up against Dean Barker for Emirates Team New Zealand.
So then 2 top teams, Emirates Team New Zealand and Team Alinghi. This is going to be a good start from both teams. New Zealand turn and head towards the line. Alinghi right alongside. It's not a great deal as they come across the line to start this one. Well, this is what we wanted from the 2 top teams, effectively. Team New Zealand with the speed. Throwing dirty air back at Alinghi. Sure enough, they're going to tack away. The wind started to die, and it's very light indeed at the moment. The wind spotters struggling. This is a tough time for everyone, but they're really working hard. It doesn't look like it perhaps, but this is probably the toughest time of all for all the crews. Emirates Team New Zealand have reached the bottom mark, but they're struggling in this light pressure to get round it. This really is unsaleable conditions, frustrating for everyone on board. And it looks as though Alinghi have got a puff of wind and are now starting to bear down on Team New Zealand. Match 4 and Luna Rossa having almost overtaken match 3, with time ticking out towards the 40 minutes since the last mark. They can't quite get there, and this is absolutely painful. The umpires have their stopwatches out and have abandoned the race. BMW, Oracle and Ladefi making it past the 3rd mark, but they too are struggling, and they take too long under the rules, so race abandoned. The Italians and South Africans have a real tactical tussle going on. They can't make it to the 3rd mark within the time limit, and their race is also pulled. And I'll say one thing, it's been a really tough day for the tacticians.
No time to complete the last 3 races, and they're worth half a point to everyone, and that means Emirates Team New Zealand win Act 2, just ahead of Luna Rossa. BMW Oracle Racing 3rd, Alinghi 4th. The photographers wait for the photograph. Dean Barker raising the trophy. Emirates Team New Zealand, worthy winners of Act 2. The champagne starts to flow. All a bit of a relief for Grant Dalton and his team.
We're really pleased, you know, it's the first trophy that Team New Zealand's won for a fair while, if fair to say. So, I mean, it's not the shape of the one we're going for eventually, but we'll take them all along everywhere we can get them.
Let's have a quick look back now at the best moments of the first 4 races of fleet racing. The lead that Alinghi had built up was slowly whittled away by the K Challenge and a drifting Emirates Team New Zealand, but it was just enough to let the Swiss in by 2 seconds. Third race, not just 1 but 4 boats messed up at the start. All the boats were on the left-hand side of the line, and a whole bunch crossed the line early. Alinghi were first to turn, BMW Oracle, Luna Rossa and K Challenge all following suit. Emirates Team New Zealand had plain sailing all the way round. The biggest disappointment came from the skies. 3rd day of the regatta with points close and the countdown to the race only moments away. The wind increased beyond safe sailing limits. Relief for some, disappointment for others. After the devastating demolition of their boat by a storm at the end of Act 1, the Kiwis had scrambled to fly in their replacement boat halfway round the world from New Zealand. Yet they still found form, winning the first race and coming in 2nd behind Alinghi in race 2. Race 3, and they were up again, crossing the line a full 3 minutes ahead of the nearest boat. With 2 firsts and a second, Emirates Team New Zealand was in a commanding position. The hard lessons would be learned in race 4. The boats lined up in what looked like the perfect start, but the judges said the Kiwis were over the line. Only a fraction of a misjudgment. The race blown. The New Zealanders turned back for the line and the restart. An end to their good run, relinquishing the top of the leaderboard to Alinghi. So for the final few fleet races, it's perfectly poised, with Team Alinghi just 1 point ahead. The boats prepare for an early start, and there's a change to the original programme. The last day will feature 2 races, not just 1. The big protagonists of race 5, defending America's Cup champions Team Alinghi and their great rivals Emirates Team New Zealand.
New Zealand definitely taking the pin end here. So important to get it just right, just as the gun goes. And across they come, and it is Emirates Team New Zealand who leads them away. That was brilliant from the pin end. And at the third mark, BMW Oracle Racing with a huge lead now. You can hear the hooters, change of course, and a dramatic change in the wind as well. As you can see, the spotters are up the mast looking for everything they can get. Around the third mark go K Challenge, and this is a great race for them so far. They're currently in second place now, chasing BMW Oracle. And as the Americans head towards the finish line, back at the third mark, Alinghi are just rounding it, and there's some 5.5 minutes off the leaders. Look at this, the wind has changed again and swung so much that they're taking the spinnakers down. Powering now towards the finish line with full sails. How different could it be for BMW Oracle Racing, winners of Act 1 in Marseille, and finally back to winning ways again here in Act 3.
So after race 5, Team Alinghi on 33 points, 3 ahead of Emirates Team New Zealand and BMW Oracle with 28 and Luna Rossa on 25.
And as they head towards the line, Emirates getting away well, but it looks as though the South Africans, BMW Oracle, also stuck behind K Challenge as well, as they all try to go for the committee end. And the Kiwis are really sailing a great race. They ran the mark and they've used the conditions well, but look who's right behind them. It's the Swiss Team Alinghi, exactly where they need to be, keeping a watchful eye on Emirates. But out front, Emirates with the rest of the fleet, a beautiful sight as the fleet racing for 2004 comes to an end. But it's been a great experience, a great learning experience for all the teams.
K Challenge in 5th place, then a couple of points behind Luna Rossa, BMW Oracle Racing 3rd, Emirates Team New Zealand 2nd, 1st place to Alinghi.
Final regatta, it's obviously the nice one to walk away with. It's the one we'll think about as we go away for a few months.
Time for celebrations at the end of Act 3. The final regatta goes to Alinghi, the class championship for 2004 to Emirates Team New Zealand. A warm welcome to Valencia 2005 and Louis Vuitton Act 4 of the 32nd America's Cup. The gladiatorial Spanish action shifts once more from the city's famous bullring to the newly created Port America's Cup, preparing to welcome some newcomers. 5 syndicates were making their debut here in Valencia. China Team, a joint venture between the Chinese and previous competitors Le Défi, launched their boat at Port America's Cup but found the going tough. Their debut match with Xocholoza was their only match racing victory. Another rookie was local hope Desafío Español. They made the brightest start of all the new syndicates, looking impressive early on. Sweden's Victory Challenge were also quick out of the gate. Magnus Holmberg's team were worried about lack of preparation time, but they always looked set to contest 5th place with the Spanish. Mascarzoni Latino Capitalia team brought the quota of Italian syndicates in the regatta up to 3, but their lack of match racing experience was clear early on. United Internet Team Germany faced the toughest task. Jesper Banks' boat, old and slow, but the experience would prove invaluable.
It will be Francisco De Angelis and Luna Rossa who get the slight advantage early on. But it's close. Take a look at this. This is quite aggressive by Team New Zealand, and they're pushing them away from the mark now. And this is a classic luffing battle now between these two. Emirates forcing them wide, and just holding them out away from the mark as far as they can. And at the moment, Luna Rossa can do nothing. But now look at this. They think they've got an opportunity here. And Luna Rossa are going to try. Oh, they are. How close is this going to be? This is risky business, but they're going for it. Gutsy maneuver, brilliantly executed. And look at that. No holding back, but amazingly, Team New Zealand managed to hold on. But look how close these two are. Both these teams without a loss, but one of them is going to come over the line second, but who's it going to be? It's not too far where Luna Rossa can't make a challenge. But you'd have to say, the way the Kiwis are sailing at the moment, it's going to be very hard indeed to catch that time. Oh, now disaster though. Just when they thought they might have a chance of maybe catching some time. Look at that, a rip spinnaker. It's pretty much all over for Luna Rossa as it flails in the wind. Emirates Team New Zealand, they won't be smiling just yet, but they know that surely this big matchup between these two unbeaten teams is over.
The Kiwis come from behind to take the first of the big matchups, now for the second.
Flight 5, match 4. Alinghi the defenders up against BMW Oracle Racing. Definitely one of the biggest matchups of the week. The start's so important. And the experience on both these boats, second to none. And look at the timing of this. Sensational by the defenders. Right on the button. And away they go. A good start for them. 9 seconds the lead they have, the early stages. Working very hard to hoist that spinnaker as quickly as possible. And BMW, well, they've lost a lot of ground. They ran the mark now, coming up towards it, but it's 25, maybe 28 seconds adrift. Have they got time? That's the question. Despite the fact that BMW Oracle Racing pushed them as hard as they could, Alinghi were just too strong on the day. Peter Holmberg and his team crossing the line, and that's going to be BMW Oracle Racing's first loss. And Alinghi, of course, remaining unbeaten so far in this regatta.
Valencia greeted the king on day 4, and he joins Desafío Español as the 18th man. Clearly his presence helped, as the Spanish claimed both points on offer. Mixed fortunes for the Sicilians aboard the Plus 39 Challenge. A false start, a broken rudder and spinnaker problems, but they still managed to finish in 9th place. 2 places ahead of them was the French K Challenge, a little disappointed with 7th overall. The penultimate day of match racing saw the only unbeaten teams in the regatta go head-to-head.
I'm going to go out there to win, and that'll put us ahead. So that's the plan. That's plan A. There is no plan B.
And the Kiwis having to fight for position here at the pre-start. And they are working as hard as they possibly can. They really are throwing these boats around. Look how much water they're churning up. And look at this, they're getting close again, very close indeed.
Trey's on it. Still 4 metres. 3 metres.
Richard Meacham there, calling it as they head towards the start. Emirates wanted the right side, but Alinghi look as though they may have it.
Just okay at this. Keep it down a little.
Jero Lomas, the bowman for Emirates Team New Zealand, calling the start. And away they go then. And sure enough, Alinghi look as though they've got that favoured right side, and Emirates having to go left. Really not a lot in it. Until we see that first pass, we won't really be able to tell. And Alinghi have kept that lead, but only by a length or half a length. And it has to be said, Dean Barker and his team are in trouble now against the defenders. As they come to that mark, we'll see the gap. Rounding the mark. See the speed of the boat here. Emirates trying desperately to catch Alinghi, but they're not making mistakes, and they're paying for it now. Look at the gap, 31 seconds now at that first mark, so it's all to do for Dean Barker. Not impossible, but hard. Coming up to the second mark then, Alinghi dropping their spinnaker, and they've maintained that margin at the second mark. Good work by Brad Butterworth and the team as he looks back at his old teammates who caught up a little bit. Dean Barker, who can do nothing. He's been looking at the back of Alinghi for most of the day. And it's going to be the defenders, Alinghi, who head to the line as the only unbeaten boat in the regatta.
Alinghi understandably delighted. While the win may only have been worth a point in psychological terms, the victory was huge.
And there was another duel taking place in the middle of the table. Victory Challengers win over Desafío Español, giving them 5th place overall. Match 3, Flight 11, BMW Oracle Racing and Emirates Team New Zealand in the pre-start. This the battle for outright 2nd place in the regatta.
2 metres. It's still closing. 1 metre. 1 metre now.
Oh, how close can you be? 1 metre, he says, more like inches, and that's 30 tonnes of boat heading your way. Richard Meacham, barman of Emirates Team New Zealand, cool as you like. Such confidence, such precision between these two crews. Great match racing. Gavin Brady heads over the line, likewise Dean Barker, and it's a very even start, so we're in for a cracking match between these two. If the pre-start was anything to go by, let's hope it continues. And look at the work being put in here. BMW Oracle throwing everything at Team New Zealand. New Zealand just covering them. They will be exhausted, and there's one more leg to go. The grinders really having their work cut out. And as for 2nd place overall, Emirates Team New Zealand, as you can see at the line here, well ahead of BMW.
But there could be only one winner, and the Act 4 honours went to Alinghi, confirming their rightful status as the cup holders. Alinghi winning every match ahead of Emirates Team New Zealand, BMW Oracle Racing 3rd, Luna Rossa 4th. Equal points then for K Challenge, Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia, and likewise plus 39. Shosholoza, no points. But of course this is just the start of the 2005 season, and there's a lot more racing to come. Fleet racing here in Valencia for Act 5, and the new waters of Sweden and Italy yet to be conquered. But for now, the dominant force in the America's Cup is still very much Alinghi, as the fleet heads into Act 5.
What a magnificent sight. 12 majestic boats in their full glory. ...300 tonnes of carbon, nearly 1,000 feet of waterline length, and all of it looking for that same piece of water. The Swedish Victory Challenge. It seems that fleet racing suits them more than match racing. Way out in front, and their spinnaker has torn. They'll be working desperately hard to get another one up. That was the Swedes, but as they do so, the red boat of Mascalzoni passes them. And there we can see Mascalzoni. They've got all the impetus. They are overjoyed.
Day 2 of the fleet racing, and Port America's Cup was buzzing as the weekend crowds came to see the whole fleet in action.
As we come to Mark 1, it's Emirates Team New Zealand who are way out in front. What an amazing sight as we see these helmsmen carefully threading their way through a maze of boats. There's no room for error. Emirates Team New Zealand barge inside Luna Rossa. They can't do that. Oh my goodness, they've hit the Spaniards. And And the Spanish have lost control. They've gone into the K Challenge. The Kiwis have caused carnage here. Meanwhile, the Swedish boat is left clear. What another great day for the Swedish team. They're going to take the win.
The final day, the final race, and somewhat unexpectedly, Victory Challenge is on top. But as well as facing the Big Four, Magnus Holmberg's team also have to contend with an unresolved protest hearing against them. A post-race inspection revealed compartments inside the boat were filled with seawater and may be in breach of measurement rules. Victory Challenge take to the water, still in the lead on paper, but with doubt as to their position.
And there we can see the whole fleet are moving to the right, except the Spaniards. And there's the Swedish challenge boat and Mascalzone. They're on starboard. They have right of way here, but the Spanish are approaching on a port tack. But they seem to have managed to tack underneath. A very cheeky manoeuvre. And as we come down to the finish, the Spanish still out in front, but there are 4 boats behind who could still take it. The Spanish just managing to hold off Mascalzone Latino. Are they going to hold them off at the finish? This is so close. This is going right to the wire. Great comeback from Mascalzone, but the Spanish just managed to hold them off, and they are delighted.
Tension mounts on the Swedish boat as they return to the dock for the international jury to announce their decision and finally inform them of their fate.
Yesterday, the measurement committee did a spot check and they discovered some compartments which could hold water, and in fact did hold water. And this is an infringement of the measurement rule.
Victory Challenge lose their points from race 4. Luna Rossa are tied on points with Alinghi, but a countback gives them first place. The delighted Italians celebrate in traditional style. Destination Malmö, Sweden. 12 boats from 10 countries and almost 500 tons of hardware duel on the Öresund in the latest chapter of qualifications for America's Cup 2007. Two courses were laid for the match racing, Romeo and Juliet, so called to reflect the drama that will unfold there. Home syndicate Victory Challenge got the ball rolling against the defenders Alinghi on a wet and windy day 1. The Swedes sailed well, but were quite simply outclassed by the Swiss team. There was misery for Mascalzone Latino Capitalia team. Mainsail problems prevented them from starting either of their 2 races. They were the first team to be towed home. Against China team, Emirates Team New Zealand's spinnaker pole took a beating. The Kiwis still able to squeak home ahead. Plus 39 Challenge lost 2 crew members overboard thanks to an unruly spinnaker against BMW Oracle Racing.
We lost the tack of the spinnaker and it caught me from behind and I did a little bit of a somersault, and I was happy I landed in the water rather than on the boat, because it would have been a little bit tough landing on the boat upside down.
Development. The mast, boom and the spinnaker pole make up the spars on an America's Cup boat. Made of carbon fibre, they are light but incredibly strong. The mast, for example, is 33 metres high but only weighs 750 kilos. In the balance between strength and weight, sometimes the massive loads prove too much, with spectacular consequences.
On day 2, K Challenge stole a march on BMW Oracle Racing at the start before the Americans gunned them down at the first mark. Spinnaker trouble for the Swedes meant a maiden victory for Team Shosholoza. China team's hopes of their first points evaporated on the start line when they broke early and were forced to pay the penalty against the Germans. While Desafio Español was suffering far more from bad luck than bad judgment. And breaking boom seemed to be the theme of the day. It was Shosholoza's turn next. Then after racing had finished, United Internet's Christian Butt was badly injured in a sickening accident coming down the mast.
He broke a bone and a chin bone and 2 ribs. So he looks like someone who's been bashed. He's getting no permanent injuries, which is good.
Day 3 was all about the big boys as the top 4 teams raced each other for the first time in the regatta, and the first race on day 3 was a biggie.
It's going to be a split start. Oracle's going to be close.
Both boats with 4 wins out of 4. This would probably decide the whole outcome of Act 6.
Alinghi at the leeward end of the line gets a beautiful start, hard on the wind. Oracle at the windward end just having to harden up, but they do have the right-hand advantage. Boats close together. Oracle in the windward position is the giveaway boat. Chris Dixon, who has taken over the helming duty and skipper duty from Gavin Brady.
Umpire boat just keeping a sharp eye on the two of them, wedged between them as they head into what could be a bit of a luffing duel here.
Oracle gauging a wave, trying to keep that separation from Alinghi. Windward boat must keep clear. Boat's burning off speed, and Chris Dixon and Oracle forced to tack away.
First blood there to Alinghi as Ernesto Berarelli does a spot of grinding. And as they head into the first mark, Alinghi well in the lead now.
See the mid-bowman and the bowman just helping the spinnaker underneath the Genoa. Approaching mark number 2, Alinghi holds about a 1.5 boat length advantage as they do their string takedown at the bottom mark.
Both these crews looking a little bit more practiced now as we move through these acts.
So up the second windward beat, approaching mark number 3. Problem on board Oracle. The Genoa halyard clip has come undone. This will mean Alinghi will extend their lead.
Looks like Eric Doyle scooting up the mast there to retrieve the halyard from where the clip broke, but this is costing them dear.
New halyard going in, but Alinghi have gone on to win.
And day 3 saw another big matchup, this time over on the Juliet course, where we have Emirates Team New Zealand, the unbeaten Kiwis, up against another unbeaten side, Luna Rossa, the Red Moon. The Italians with their gun Australian helmsman James Spittle making a pretty good fist of the start here. But Team New Zealand do look to have some pretty good speed, and that is going to be the telling factor. Team New Zealand cruising to a win to remain unbeaten. Another busy day of racing was scheduled for day 4 of the 32nd America's Cup here in Malmo. There was a welcome return for United Internet Team Germany, who missed the previous day's competition fixing a technical problem. But on day 4 it looked as if the Kiwis had allowed a little complacency to set in. Emirates Team New Zealand had a false start, allowing Plus 39 Challenge to sail their own race. The Italians defended their lead well and managed to keep the charging Kiwis at bay to produce the biggest upset of the regatta.
Euphoria in the camp. No, we didn't think we were going to win a race today. We're going against
both Luna Rossa and Emirates Team New Zealand. So when we came away with 1 win from that, that's definitely outstripped our expectations.
So it's Alinghi, the only unbeaten team in the fleet, needing to keep a careful eye on Luna Rossa on day 5.
Luna Rossa going off at the windward end of the line, split tack, on port tack. Alinghi surging into the seaway on starboard.
Coming up to the top mark here, Alinghi. It's still very close though.
Alinghi tacking on port, give way boat. The boat's a bow to bow with Luna Rossa holding the starboard advantage as they converge. Alinghi electing to dip, slam dunk by Luna Rossa in the windward position. Very close there. Looks like there's been an incident.
Blue light flashing on the Empire boat. That means Alinghi have been pinged. That means that Luna Rossa are in the lead. I wonder what that was for.
So Luna Rossa at the first mark. 2 boat lengths. Advantage. Bear away set. As the pole goes up, bearing down, and Alinghi comes in with good speed. Still with a penalty owing. Managing to get on the inside of Luna Rossa. We can see the blue light flashing.
A constant reminder there that the pressure's on. So they've rolled them. What a piece of sailing by Alinghi.
So coming into the bottom mark gate, number 3, mark 3. Clean takedown by Alinghi. But Luna Rossa's got a problem. Their spinnaker is in the water. They've got a major crew error here. Trawling the spinnaker.
What an amazing mess they're making of this as Alinghi make a nice clean mark rounding. Now, can they put in enough time to be able to take their penalty as the Italians try and sort out their mess?
Alinghi right down in the bottom mark towards the finish. Penalty turn. Just completing the turn as they come up head to win. No sign of Luna Rossa. So Alinghi, after incurring a penalty, is able to get rid of the penalty with that turn to go on to take the race from Luna Rossa after their spinnaker problem.
So delight for Alinghi, unbeaten, and for China team, who scored their first victory in the campaign when they beat K Challenge. The match against BMW Oracle Racing was a must-win for Emirates Team New Zealand, and all was going to plan. The Kiwis appeared to be in full control until a jib sheet broke. End of story. BMW Oracle Racing and Luna Rossa, with only 1 loss apiece, battled it out for second place. Although equal off the start line, that would prove to be the closest part of the race for the 2 boats. With 10 seconds to go to the start, Luna Rossa was already in some trouble.
Luna Rossa just a little late for the line here. Oracle dominant. 80% of these races, when the matches are even, are won by the boat that wins the start. So Oracle just covering Luna Rossa. Looking strong, looking comfortable. As they come up towards the top mark, they've extended their lead, Oracle, over Luna Rossa, to look dominant, and they can just button off a little bit, sail a little bit conservatively with such a dominant lead.
That's a huge lead, isn't it? And as you were saying, it is all to do with the pre-start, and Dixon quite clearly nailed James Spittle there.
Luna Rossa coming round the mark, bear away set, trailing Oracle.
Bit of a procession now.
So Larry Ellison taking the helm to go on for Oracle to take a well-deserved win.
Mascalzone Latino Capitalia team held out victory challenge to say 7th overall, an up and down week for the Swedes with only 4 wins in the regatta. Socioloza claimed only their second win in the America's Cup after a great penalty turn on the line to beat China team. The South Africans gained valuable experience with each race and will hope for better in the acts to come. Plus 39 Challenge won comfortably over United Internet Team Germany, and with 6 wins this week finished halfway up the leaderboard. A beautiful day's sailing for Desafio Español, who claimed 5th overall with their 22nd win over K Challenge. Despite some breakages this week, Karol Jablonski and his crew enjoyed good boat speed in heavy conditions and took 6 wins from 11 matchups. But Act 6 belonged to only one team. Lingi couldn't have done better with 11 wins from 11 starts.
One more time, guys. So now we have a clear sweep and won all the races. Can't be better.
So the Big Four rule this week's match racing results with Desafio Español and Plus 39 Challenge and Luna Rossa Challenge rounding out the top 6. A disappointing week for host team Victory Challenge finishing 8th. Team Socioloza's 2 wins leave China team at the bottom of the table. The Swiss team have been faultless this week, and such an impressive result only strengthens their position as the defenders of the America's Cup. With the fleet racing still to come, all eyes will be on Alinghi. The historic old town of Malmö, the third city to play host to the new roadshow format of the 32nd America's Cup, as we head into the fleet racing of Louis Vuitton Act 7. Early on, all the boats seemed neck and neck, but some were forced to tack off to the other side of the course. Plus 39 went round in 3rd place. So they're at leg 3 now, and Emirates Team New Zealand had this time managed to pick the correct side of the course and have taken the lead, with the Spanish team Desafio Español making their way up to 2nd place. Both drifted around the marks. But jumping into the lead were BMW Oracle Racing, drifting across the line with just 20 seconds to spare before the time limit expired. Race 2, and carefully timed runs to the start, no one wanting to be early. But Alinghi in the centre of the picture looked a bit quick, and as the gun went off were fractionally over the line. A costly mistake for the usually faultless Swiss team. This would be an unusual position for Alinghi, which normally leads from the front. By Mark 1, it was the French K Challenge who'd opened up an early lead. A great position for Thierry Peponet to be in, especially as this was one of the oldest boats in the fleet. But K Challenge managed to hold off the might of the USA team throughout the rest of the race to record their first ever fleet race win. Race 3 turned out to be the final fleet race of the act, and it was certainly the most incident-filled. As the gun went, it looked as if Emirates Team New Zealand on the committee boat had got the best start. The majority of the fleet opted to tack off and headed right, with the exception of the Germans. By Mark 1, it was James Spittle and the Luna Rossa team who'd sailed the first leg fastest. BMW Oracle Racing, an unexpected company as K Challenge almost collided with their stern. Luna Rossa managed to stay out in front. Behind them, BMW Oracle Racing were having trouble keeping their spinnaker full. Then on the final leg to the finish, Alinghi managed to get a jump on the rest of the fleet. Yet another win for the unstoppable Swiss. The deciding day, and the Orson resembled a mill pond, a thick fog hanging over the harbour area. This forced Principal Race Officer Peter Reggio to cancel the last race and declare Act 6 and 7 over. So after 3 fleet races, the leaderboard was tight at the top, but on a countback, Alinghi were declared overall winners, and a disappointed BMW Oracle Racing had to settle for second. Once again, it's the defender Alinghi who got to enjoy the champagne moment. Welcome to the city of Trapani. The travelling show that is Louis Vuitton Acts 8 and 9 has docked on the beautiful island of Sicily. A jewel in the heart of the Mediterranean, it's a stunning backdrop for the drama about to unfold on the high seas. And to say that the city of Trapani welcomed the America's Cup with open arms is certainly an understatement. Day 1 saw sunny skies and 8 to 10 knots of breeze, perfect conditions for champagne sailing. The battle between the Spanish and Swedish was always going to be an interesting one. Fighting for top honours in the middle of the table, the Spanish did exceedingly well in Malmo, and the Swedes did very well in Valencia. On neutral territory here in Italy, the Swedes took it. The first big upset of day 1 between K Challenge and Emirates Team New Zealand saw the Kiwis have a problem in the jibe. K Challenge really took advantage. K Challenge went on to win, showing that the underdogs really can come from behind in one of the oldest boats. It was all change weather-wise on day 2, with swells up to 1.5 metres and winds of 18 to 20 knots. It was clear immediately that the racing was going to be spectacular. After the previous day's heroics, K Challenge retired after the start, leaving Shosholoza to bounce their way around the course alone. Home Team Plus 39 Challenge were not having a happy time of it. Spinnaker problems caused a spectacular broach, and they finished their match against Alinghi with the offending sail wrapped around the forestay. As the weather got progressively worse, race director Peter Reggio had no choice but to abandon the day at the end of Flight 3. Day 3 was costly in terms of points and money. Shosholoza lost their Spinnaker pole against Germany, who promptly ripped their kite clean in 2. Spain followed suit, much to the delight of the downtrodden Sicilians, but their lead was short-lived when an afterguard member, Andrew Simpson, slipped off the deck during a Spinnaker drop. The umpires collected the crewmen safe and sound, while the chase boat tried to save the sail. The weather had calmed considerably for the afternoon's flights, and 2 teams were really going to go at it, BMW Oracle Racing and Emirates Team New Zealand. Dean Barker and his crew were leading in towards the start, with BMW Oracle Racing pushing very, very hard.
Won't get to you, Terry! Won't get to you! Marginal, Terry! 1 metre! He's hooked there, Terry! He's hooked there!
Emirates Team New Zealand, the windward boat, do have to keep clear. Oracle are the attacking boat. Emirates Team New Zealand now tacking onto port tack. Oracle keeping in sync, keeping in phase, but it looks like we're coming up to a split tack start as they come up to the final 5 seconds. Quite an even start, but slight advantage down the leeward end to Oracle.
BMW Oracle Racing led into the top mark in this thriller, but all that was about to change, as the skipper explained.
We got the favoured left side of the course, had very good trim, good speed. Team New Zealand got the jump on the first run. What we saw on those downwind legs with the good waves is the boat behind got to choose when to jibe and got to work the waves, got the opportunity to work the waves a little better, had more flexibility. And when Team New Zealand was behind, they used them well to get the jump, and when we found ourselves behind, we caught some very good waves, had some great jibes, and got right back in there.
It was neck and neck all the way to the finish, the Kiwis scraping in by a couple of seconds.
We were behind and managed to claw our way back into it, which is certainly a very positive signal for us, because I think against some of these other teams, to do well, particularly in the Louis Vuitton in 2007, it's going to be being able to win the races that you're behind. And I think today we did a very, very good job.
Day 4 and K Challenge were looking a little nervously over their shoulder. Plus 39 were on the charge. All seemed cool and calm, with the bowman performing some standard manoeuvres, when all of a sudden it was about to change.
Bowman on K Challenge, just getting the retrieval cord out of the small pouch in the corner of the spinnaker, but early takedown, they've got a problem. It looks like K Challenge, in fact, they've broken the spinnaker. The spinnaker is split in half and there's no genoa hoisted. This is giving advantage to plus 39. They'll be looking for a tidy manoeuvre. Big problem on K Challenge, but also a problem on plus 39. They've trawled the spinnaker.
This looks even worse.
Big problem on plus 39. They have to cut the spinnaker loose.
And that's letting K Challenge get through now. This is a terrible mess for them.
K Challenge still haven't hoisted the genoa as they approach the bottom mark. Plus 39 completely stopped in the water.
You're going to have to cut that lot free.
Well, this is the one that got away.
And to finish off a terrible day for plus 39, they smashed the spinnaker pole. Day 5 dawned grey and miserable, but even the persistent rain didn't dampen the Italian spirit. All 3 of their syndicates were racing against each other, and perhaps the lunar effect of the eclipse would produce some surprising results. In the Italian matchup between the Latin Rascals on Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia team and Luna Rossa, the start was incredibly close.
Luna Rossa controlling the start, pushing Mascalzoni up towards the starting line, trying to get them early to the start. Mascalzoni in trouble as Luna Rossa pushes from behind. Mascalzoni are over early.
Classic piece of match racing there. James Spittle on form.
Well, he's the form starting helmsman. Great time on distance by Luna Rossa.
The big breeze took its toll on the first downward leg. Luna Rossa exploding a kite. But such was their lead, it was almost academic. And when Mascalzoni Latino popped their spinnaker too, it was all over for the Latin Rascals. The rain again halted proceedings for a few hours, and in the afternoon matchups, another Latin derby. Plus 39 were protecting their lead over Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia when the Latin Rascals ripped another kite to destroy any chance of a win in this crucial race.
Similar speeds, Terry. Won't get you to there.
The afternoon's big match was Emirates Team New Zealand against Alinghi, and the pressure on board was palpable. It was always going to be close between these two teams. But on the start line, Alinghi had it nailed. As they got to the bottom mark, Emirates Team New Zealand's day didn't get any better. A major crew error saw the spinnaker going over the side. They took the decision that instead of trying to pull it back on board, they'd cut it free so the chase boat could pick it up later. A costly error by the Kiwis from which they never recovered. A win to Alinghi. On the final day, it was all still to play for between the top 4 teams. First up, BMW Oracle Racing with starboard advantage over Luna Rossa on the start line, but it will change.
Approaching the first mark, Oracle appear to be in the lead, but they are on port tack. They are the giveaway boat, not able to squeeze round the bow of Luna Rossa, who has starboard advantage, able to hold Oracle out from that first mark rounding.
Neat move there by James Spittle, but I see a flag there. What might that be about?
Oracle, have they tacked too close, meaning that Luna Rossa had to avoid a collision, but green flag, Luna Rossa ahead at Mark 1.
It was a lead the Italians never lost, James Spittle repelling all the Americans' attacks, and in fact stretching away for what in the end was a comfortable and very popular hometown win. Up against Alinghi, the new French combination of Thierry Peponnet and Sébastien Coll in the afterguard on board K Challenge was beginning to show some fruit. Alinghi to windward were a little bit early at the start, the bowman calling to their afterguard for them to slow down. But as the gun went, it was an early advantage to K Challenge over the America's Cup defenders. K Challenge surprised everyone watching as they rolled over the top of Alinghi to take a really famous win.
We basically just sailed over them and then past them. And it was just magical.
Who would have predicted K Challenge breaking Alinghi's winning streak? So, with the result hanging in the balance, it was down to the final 2 matches to decide the winner. First up, Luna Rossa against Emirates Team New Zealand.
Luna Rossa leading in, slightly ahead down to leeward of Emirates Team New Zealand. So as they come up to the line, Luna Rossa looks to have a slight advantage.
Emirates Team New Zealand there with the power of the right. I wonder if it'll be any use to them.
Luna Rossa ahead at Mark 1. Emirates Team New Zealand dipping, coming in on port. Luna Rossa doing a delayed tack. Emirates Team New Zealand putting a move on Luna Rossa. Luna Rossa not able to get round the mark and turn the boat.
Protest flag, protest flag.
Well, that's all about Emirates Team New Zealand being asked the question, did they barge at the mark? But it looks like they've pulled a move, and green flag, Emirates Team New Zealand are first at mark number 1.
That proved to be the decisive move. Victory to Emirates Team New Zealand. The final big clash, BMW Oracle Racing against Alinghi.
Boats close together, Oracle pushing as they come up towards the line. Alinghi now brings her bow up onto the wind. Split tack start, there'll be a winner and loser on this one as they go up the first windward beat. Mark 1 advantage to Oracle. Bertrand Passe has weaved his magic. Good lead over Alinghi.
And That's the way it stayed. A second loss for the defenders, inflicted this time by BMW Oracle Racing. But Alinghi still take the title on a count-back.
Obviously, we didn't dominate the event like the scores have shown in others, but we did win enough races at the right time, and we beat enough of the top teams to come out on top in the tiebreaker.
Alinghi make it 3 match racing titles in a row in 2005, although they'd not been quite as dominant as we'd come to expect. So a glorious October Saturday in Trapani. Strong winds, cotton wool clouds, blue skies and Sicilian sunshine greeted the crowds as they piled into the harbour to cheer their maritime heroes. Indeed, the America's Cup Park welcomed its 1 millionth visitor since the start of the Louis Vuitton Acts back in 2004.
"12 boats all lining up, and the last 10 seconds crucial. There goes the gun. It looks like someone's over. K-Challenge, bad news for them. Up at Mark 1, Victory Challenge have come in absolutely storming. That doesn't look good. It certainly looks like they've got a problem. It seems like a big puff of breeze, really looking big. 24, 26, 28 knots. It's carnage all across the racecourse. Coming down to the finish, BMW Oracle are smoking.
It was very smooth water, so there was not really any waves to surf on at all. But we were doing 18, 19 and a half was our top speed. We were doing over 18 at the moment we crossed the finish line. So we'll put that in the Guinness Book of World Records for now.
The first day of fleet racing had ushered in some very un-Sicilian weather, but the postponement of race 2 wasn't a problem for the shore crew. Weather conditions were less than perfect, and the ideal place to watch the race was the foredeck club. But when the go-ahead for race 2 was finally given, the crowd was buzzing.
You can see the flag still up, and they are calling Mascalzoni back. This is very bad news for them because they've been sucked up the windward leg with all the other boats, and they've got to go and recross the line. Expensive error on their part. The left-hand side looked extremely good. Luna Rossa coming out like a scalded cat. Looks like Luna Rossa are going for an asymmetrical spinnaker, where Alinghi right behind them, their pole is much higher, and that would lead to suspect it's a symmetrical spinnaker. The positions are all shook up, and Alinghi lead BMW Oracle, Emirates Team New Zealand in third. And a familiar position from Alinghi as the horns go off, and they take a much-needed victory. And look at this, BMW Oracle Racing charging down towards the leeward end of the line. That is a super start. There's only meters separating these boats, packed in off the starting line, all desperately trying to get their noses clear and get into fresh air. Alinghi just hanging on. They've got enough distance so that they don't get disturbed by the bad air, but it's Alinghi with starboard advantage. But look at Desafio Español. They got totally shut out at the start, but they have come back to third place. Brad Webb on the bow of BMW Oracle, feeding the tack out to the end of the pole. Teamwork is critical here. Alinghi with a very handy lead. Two top runners extend their legs over the rest of the fleet. Shoshaloza hanging on in there, and Emirates Team New Zealand picking the shifts very nicely.
Alinghi take the win, but the real standout of the day is Shoshaloza, who finished in third place for a famous result.
boy, a very, very close cross. And it's the right that is really looking good. But as they come to the top, it is very close indeed. Everyone fighting for their slice of the pie. Desafio Español, they went up the middle right-hand side. They look in good shape. But Alinghi in a familiar position towards the front of the fleet. Super shots from the helicopter, amazing scenes. As Emirates Team New Zealand try to find some extra special breeze, Adam Bichel goes up the rig. And unfortunately for Socioloza, they slip down 4 places to 7th. But no one's got an answer right now for the dominance of Alinghi, and they take another valuable win.
Alinghi then just a single point clear of BMW Oracle Racing. Socioloza record their worst finish yet, but still hold on to 4th behind Emirates Team New Zealand. So can Alinghi make it 5 out of 6 acts this year, or will BMW Oracle Racing finish on a high? The answer for the Americans was no. Desafio Español, the surprise winner. But Alinghi still takes the title overall. That ends Act 9. Arrivederci from Trapani as we head back to Spain. Louis Vuitton Act 10 in Valencia, and it's showtime. Let's introduce you to our all-star cast. Alinghi, the defender and the 2005 season champion, winning 5 of the 6 acts. The challenger of record, BMW Oracle Racing, returns to Valencia with a brand new boat, USA 87. The first of the Italian teams, Plus 39 Challenge, racing the oldest boat in the fleet. Team Socioloza, the first ever African Cup challenger that's stolen the hearts of the public. Another heavyweight competitor, Emirates Team New Zealand, also racing a new boat in Act 10. The pride of Italy, Luna Rossa Challenge with ITA 86, the last of the new boats on display. K Challenge received a new sponsor and a makeover during the winter and returned as Arriva Challenge. The Vikings on-board Victory Challenge managed 6th last season despite some major boat issues. Desafio Español was the surprise package of 2005. Their potential should not be underestimated. The Rascals aboard Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia team complete the Italian contingent. United Internet needs time. They improve with each race and want to continue the upward trend. China team finished last in all of the 6 rounds last year, but theirs is a long-term view. On day 2, the focus was firmly fixed on Desafio Español's team base, where ESP88 was officially launched under the watchful eye of His Majesty Don Juan Carlos, the King of Spain.
The whole team's really excited by today. I mean, everyone's been working very hard, right throughout the team, and I think it's a good reward for some hard work.
It was a case of mixed fortunes for the 2 lower-placed Italian boats, Plus 39 Challenge and Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia team, the Rascals winning the derby in the opening flight. Plus 39 struggled initially, losing their first 4 matches. Victory over China temporarily halted their run of bad form, and they had a decent finish, but they were disappointed with just 3 wins. Mascalzone Latino Capitalia, on the other hand, won each of their matches against bottom 6 opponents and showed some fighting spirit against the big boys. And they won the all-important decider against Sociolosa to ensure 7th place overall. Sociolosa were the whipping boys of 2005, but the crew had finally clicked with their new boat. Not only did they score victories over Arriva, Desafio Español and Plus 39 and China, but the South Africans also gave defender Alinghi a run for their money, a much improved performance from Team Sociolosa. As expected, Victory Challenge made light work of the lower placed teams, but still failed to make any kind of impact against the Big Four, never coming close to even suggesting an upset. A deeply disappointing regatta for Arriva Challenge in their new colours. Throughout the whole of 2005, they'd looked like a team that was going places. But they do have an old boat and finished 5 places lower than in Trapani last October. United Internet Team Germany notched up only 2 wins in Act 10, including a surprise victory over the confident South Africans. Their performances may not have been worse than last year, but they certainly don't appear to have moved on significantly. China team failed to score, but it's all a learning experience for the rookie team. Theirs is a long-term plan, and they'll certainly be hoping their new boat will bring a change in fortune. Day 3, and at last, the Big Four pairings. BMW Oracle Racing against Emirates Team New Zealand. An even start saw the Americans with the starboard hand advantage off the line. And by the top mark, BMW Oracle Racing were able to exercise their right of way, forcing Emirates Team New Zealand to tack away from the mark. That started a slow-motion duel between these 2 new boats, the Kiwis making the first move by hoisting their spinnaker early. The Americans responded by laying a trap, hoping Emirates Team New Zealand would try and sneak in between them and the mark. But Dean Barker didn't take the bait, and the Kiwis were able to swing their bow across BMW Oracle's stern before rolling over the Americans, who were forced to jibe away. It was a Pyrrhic victory though. In the light airs, Emirates Team New Zealand caught their spinnaker on the top spreader and shredded it. The win then to BMW Oracle Racing. Any of the top 4 could win the regatta, so it was all to play for.
There's the gun, quarter of a length back each of them, nice and conservative. Well, Emirates Team New Zealand luffing there. They were clear ahead at the zone, which means Luna Rossa have no right to go inside them. Luna Rossa challenge, bring the bow down, try and accelerate. They've accepted they're going around this mark behind, but they're looking to go around the mark as fast as possible and put pressure on Emirates Team New Zealand down the run. This is incredible. Well, there's a white flag there. What do you think that is for? Well, I think that's going to be a green flag. I think they're trying it on a little bit, but nothing like umpires to prove me wrong. There's the green flag. I think that's the right decision from the umpires. But look how close it is. The Genoas are going up. They're coming into the bottom mark. big luff. Look at the boats heel over under the pressure of those spinnakers. Luna Rossa luff, the spinnaker goes. Emirates Team New Zealand spinnakers snapped. Now, was there also a collision? Have Luna Rossa Challenge given Emirates Team New Zealand room to keep clear? Or was that an unseamanlike manoeuvre? I suspect we'll see Y flags. Oh, blue flag. Blue flag. Penalty on Emirates Team New Zealand. They did not keep clear. Luna Rossa Challenge had luffing rights. They luffed Emirates Team New Zealand. And Emirates Team New Zealand did not keep clear. Their spinnaker blew up and flapped back down onto the Luna Rossa Challenge.
From there, the Kiwis couldn't regain lost ground, crossing the line behind Luna Rossa, who'll have to beat BMW Oracle Racing in the final flight to win the Act. So to the final flight of Act 10, as the Americans take on the Italians.
We're seeing the bow come down on Luna Rossa Challenge, we're seeing the bow come down on BMW Oracle, but this gives Luna Rossa Challenge a much better start. BMW Oracle are trying to accelerate, but they've got no air because of the wind off the back of part of Luna Rossa Challenge's sails. And there you can see Luna Rossa Challenge nailing the start. They're faster, they're ahead, and they've got the left. Now, is the left where they want to be? Are they going to carry on out to the left, or are they going to attack and cover? Great start there by James Spittle on Luna Rossa Challenge. And can Luna Rossa Challenge cross? Here they go, they're going to go for it. Big call. Big call indeed by Luna Rossa Challenge. I don't think they're making it. I think BMW Oracle are going to have a piece of them, and I think they're going to pick up a penalty here. There, no touch, but you'll see a Y flag there, definitely. There's the Y flag on the back of BMW Oracle, and I think Luna Rossa Challenge are in trouble here. They're down speed. Can we see the umpire boat? There's the yellow flag. Penalty on Luna Rossa Challenge. BMW Oracle accelerating away and a penalty up. Fantastic move there by Chris Dixon.
The Americans have put Luna Rossa out of the equation, but they have to wait for Alinghi to finish. It's a tense wait. Syndicate head Larry Ellison took the wheel over the line, so they're obviously confident that they've done enough to clinch it. 1 minute 38 the margin at the finish.
Coming into Mark 3, Emirates Team New Zealand comfortably ahead. Remember, if it stays this way, BMW Oracle win the Act. They're very interested, but this is also important to Emirates Team New Zealand, because if they win this, they get third place and they beat Alinghi overall. And here we are, it's close. Alinghi coming round the mark. How long is it? 11, 12 seconds, 13. That's not a lot. I'd say that there's plenty of opportunities down this run. There are no penalties in this match, remember. Plenty of opportunities down this run for Alinghi to catch Emirates Team New Zealand.
And look here, just the result BMW Oracle needed.
1 length to go, and Emirates Team New Zealand lead Alinghi. Revenge is sweet for Emirates Team New Zealand as they come down to the line. And there it is, Emirates Team New Zealand beat Alinghi.
A fantastic result for Emirates Team New Zealand. They end up with a 9-2 winning record. That's identical to Alinghi, but of course the Kiwis are ahead of the Swiss because they've beaten them in this match. Confirmation then of the standings. In the bottom half of the fleet, Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia got the better of Shosholoza in the fight for 7th. China Team, the only boat that failed to score. And at the top, BMW Oracle Racing win with 10 points, their only loss coming to Alinghi in 4th.
The crew did a fantastic job, especially these last few races where the crew work got us back into races or kept us in races, and we got the trophy accordingly, so very pleased.
That's it for the match racing here in Act 10. A day off, and then it's fleet racing in Act 11. The Swedes had a fantastic race and increased their lead, holding a comfortable margin on the now distant pack. The teams were jostling for position, but it wasn't turning out to be a good race for the Big Four. Emirates Team New Zealand struggling to get past plus 39 challenge, and both Alinghi and BMW Oracle Racing being held at bay by Socioloza.
There they go, Sweden 63 Victory Challenge. Fantastic performance. Race 1 of Louis Vuitton Act 11, and there's the gun. Fantastic performance by Victory Challenge. Race 1, they'll be absolutely delighted on Victory Challenge there.
For those unable to join the spectator fleet, America's Cup Park provides the best viewpoint from the shore. The crowds have thronged to the waterfront to settle themselves down in front of the big screens, or alternatively keep an even closer eye on the spectacle out on the water.
On the water again for Fleet Race 2.
Only 5 seconds to go. Desafio Espanyol right at the pin, 2, 1, well, bang! Well, 5 boats there, right bang on the line. There's some boats coming back. Emirates Team New Zealand leading the charge back, then Team Socioloza. I think Desafio Espanyol were over as well. China, Andy.
This is quite unbelievable.
A China team.
Well, we don't believe it, and I don't think they do either.
And well, Emirates Team New Zealand returning to the start line after the start, and they're now in second place, Andy. China team 5th round the top mark. Now, who'd have thought it? Alinghi now beginning to draw away from the fleet. Not a great rounding there by Team China. They've allowed Socioloza to get inside them. Louis Vuitton Act 11, race 2, race winners, and what a great job by Alinghi pulling away from the field up the first beat. What a satisfying position for them to be.
And the Chinese, I think, are heading in the wrong direction.
They've obviously had some problems on their boat.
It is going to be Luna Rossa round the mark first, BMW Oracle in pursuit, but it's not really that close. Excellent work by Luna Rossa.
Desafio Espanyol have to keep clear of Emirates Team New Zealand, and a very close cross here. The umpires are going to have to make up their mind, and in fact, the umpires penalise Desafio Espanyol here. Luna Rossa Challenge are going to take this race 4. Fantastic result for them. Puts them up into 2nd overall.
The final day of racing, and the team bases, as always, were busy, except for China team. The news that the boat has a cracked hull means the crew remains dockside today.
Plus 39 at the pin end. Good start for them. They're going to be able to hold out to the left-hand side of the course there. Looks like it's Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia team just to windward of them. They all look clear to me, but BMW Oracle are heading back to the line, and that's disaster for them. They've got a big job on now to catch up with the rest. BMW Oracle are equal on points with Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia team, and if they can get ahead of them, they will snatch 4th overall. Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia still very high. They're looking for the luff. The bow's coming up on Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia. They're looking to luff BMW Oracle. There's the luff, getting to go. A Y flag. A lot of shouting on Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia. The umpires are going to have to make a decision here. Well, what is the decision? There's another luff. That means it must have been a green flag, but Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia pretty slow there. They're luffing up behind BMW Oracle, and BMW Oracle, fantastic move by them. That puts them in 4th place overall, and Alinghi, fantastic performance again by Alinghi, fantastic racing. They've won the race and won Louis Vuitton Act 11. Massively satisfying race for them, and 2nd place may well mean 2nd overall for Emirates Team New Zealand. We'll wait to see that, but great result for Emirates Team New Zealand, snatching 2nd place at the finish. Now all eyes are on the race behind. We've got Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia coming in on port tack, and who's going to get this? It's neck and neck into the finish. Luna Rossa there looking like they're just ahead. Luna Rossa Challenge sneaking ahead of Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia team, and Luna Rossa Challenge 4th place in this race, 2nd in this act overall, and they'll be pretty relieved with that. Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia. Well,
victory for Alinghi by 8 points. Emirates Team New Zealand miss out to Luna Rossa on a countback, and BMW Oracle Racing finish 4th. And that's it from Valencia for now, but in a month's time the crews and the boats and the big crowds will all be back for Louis Vuitton Act 12. Welcome to Valencia, Louis Vuitton, Act 12.
From Emirates Team New Zealand's point of view, I expect a strong regatta. If you have a really bad regatta, you got to take a pretty hard look at yourself because, you know, the Louis Vuitton's coming.
I don't think any team out here is going out there to sail to just make a certain position. They'd love to win, and we're one of them.
As a team, I'm happy with the progresses, although I'm very realistic on still the long road that we have to walk.
You know, obviously our goal is to win the year championship and be the top challenger and collect the points for next year.
Luna Rossa ahead of the table, a single point the difference between the Italians and both Alinghi and BMW Oracle Racing, with Emirates Team New Zealand a further point behind in fourth. Heading out on day one was tense for the Spanish team, a new act and a new boat, but there wasn't any cause for concern in match one. But match two against Arriva Challenge was a different story.
Oh, they've got a problem.
I saw that Spinnaker go down.
They've been put under pressure. Now the Spanish have to keep clear. They're the windward boat. They must keep clear. Arriva have got a sail in the water. They have a problem. Oh, they've made the recovery just. They were lucky to get there. Now there's an overlap here. The Spanish, oh, they can't get in. Oh, blue flag.
Blue flag.
That's Arriva have incurred a penalty. Arriva are taking that instant penalty. That's a major infringement, so it's all starting to unfold. And at the end of this, we could actually have the boats very close together again.
This has been a great day for the Spanish, a fantastic day for the Spanish. Second win with their new boat, they'll be thrilled. Team China against Plus 39 Challenge. The Chinese had a tough start with the Italians, but eventually shut out Plus 39 by the committee boat to be in control and looking good for their first win of 2006. And they'll be enjoying this, a rare sight there for them because there's nothing in front. Leading around the top mark, their moment of glory was short-lived when their bowman had to be fished out of the water and returned on board by the chase boat after going for a swim and, unfortunately, copping a penalty. There he goes!
It's all turned to custard at the bottom mark. The Jenica has not come down. It's all laying over the top of it.
It looks like it's in bits. That allowed the Italians to gain a decent lead, and they weren't troubled by the Red Dragon again.
James Spittle in full control in the last minute of the start. Gun goes, and that is a clean out to Luna Rossa.
A bit of a spanking there from James Spittle for Dean Barker.
And there's been a lead change. Mark number one. They've actually taken Luna Rossa beyond the ley line. And there's hustle and there's bustle as the boat's now turned downwind. Genoa's coming down on the foredeck. Emirates Team New Zealand have extended their lead just ever so slightly up the second windward beat. There's only going to be 2 boat lengths in it as they come down to the line. We can see the New Zealand boat now squaring up to come to the line. And this will be a morale-boosting victory for Emirates Team New Zealand. BMW Oracle Racing pushing, shoving with 53 seconds to go. They're quite advanced to the line. The boats are close. There's not a lot of separation here. This is setting up to be a split tack start. Both boats late. So Alinghi wins in the leeward position off the line. BMW Oracle Racing in the windward position does have the power of the right. And yet another lead change. I think that's what's relevant. We've seen these 2 great matches and they're going for opposite ends of the gate. Alinghi going for the leeward end, Oracle BMW to the windward end, and it's dead even, maybe slight advantage, a couple of metres to BMW Oracle over Alinghi at mark number 2.
Mark 3, match 3. This is a tight little
cracker. Flag there. There was a flag there. Dixon put his nose in. So he's asking the question, port and starboard at the top mark.
Green flag.
Green flag, that was an ambitious move, but we can see every trick in the book are being pulled out.
They're quite a long way behind Alinghi. This is a very big win for the America's Cup defenders.
Whoa, there's a bit of action here.
Whoa.
They had to dip and tack and let Victory challenge in. The Genoa's only half hoisted and it's gone under the bow. Good recovery. Bowman going out to the end of the pole. They hook it into the grinders to do the string takedown of the Jenica. It all just looks a little bit late. There's been another lead change in this race. Victory challenge had to give Boy room. Alinghi taking a luff. Big luff coming from Alinghi. Want to get them out of there. Big luff. They'll come right up head to wind. Slowing the action. It's a bit like the dial-up pre-start. There's the mark. Once they hit the circle, they're very close to the circle. They haven't got far. I think now the advantage back to a Victory. Alinghi will have to let Victory in around the mark. They're at the 3 boat length circle. Wonderful piece of helmsmanship by Magnus Holmberg on Victory challenge to hold off the charge of Peter Holmberg and Alinghi at mark number 3. I'll make the call. It just looks like Victory are extending their lead.
Maybe they have been dipping into the sponsor's product.
So they're coming up the line.
Who would have thought it? Victory challenge of Sweden. Charge across the line. Oh, did you see that? The little close pumping fist. All of the teams were eager to get back out on the racecourse and into the action. And that dreaded red and white flag means they're in postponement there. After 2 hours of waiting in the hot Valencian sun, eventually the breeze did settle in and the AP flag was dropped to signal the start of Flight 9. Race 5, the big battle of the big boys here. Luna Rossa against BMW Oracle Racing.
9.6 knots as they come to the line. BMW Oracle's bows coming out. Luna Rossa's bows on the wind. Perfect start by the leeward boat as BMW Oracle have the power of the right. I'd call that an even start.
Americans led throughout the first leg, holding the right-hand advantage.
Clean hoist on BMW Oracle. What a beauty. Luna Rossa are going to have to mount an attack on the second windward beat if they're going to have a chance.
Luna Rossa trailed all the way, but in the final run to the finish, the light airs were starting to play a few tricks.
Could be in for a bit of an upset here. Here's a potential lead change. We had BMW Oracle dominating the whole race. As Luna Rossa passes on the vital cross, I think this could be a grandstand finish as we go down to the line. There's going to be a boat length in it. This will be certainly a last gasp win to Luna Rossa, taking the lead on the downwind leg. Win to Luna Rossa over BMW Oracle.
The scene was set for a stunning final day's racing in Valencia. Emirates Team New Zealand had a tough day in store if they were going to maintain their perfect record, beginning with a tussle against the defender Alinghi.
They've got to get their bow down below the starting line before they can come up on the wind. This is looking advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand. Figures are telling us the New Zealanders have in fact hooked into a left-hand shift as they come across. Emirates Team New Zealand extending, they're crossing, clear ahead. First cross to Emirates Team New Zealand. So at Mark 2, Emirates Team New Zealand maintain their lead over Alinghi, but Alinghi have caught up on the downwind leg, and we can see Alinghi coming into the bottom mark, making a gain. They're on the final fling to the bottom mark. It's got a long way to go yet.
It started off tight, but what have we got here? We've got the big red spinnaker of Emirates Team New Zealand. Undefeated so far in this regatta, and they are still undefeated. One big four opponent defeated, but one more still to race.
and BMW Oracle are in control. And it looks like the New Zealanders have wriggled out of trouble. BMW Oracle racing a late tack. This is going to be advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand as they go out under port tack. BMW Oracle racing dead in the water as the Kiwi boat goes out from the committee boat end of the line. The New Zealanders have stolen a march as they come up to mark number 1. What a golden day they're having. Emirates Team New Zealand finish off a fabulous day for their challenge as they go across the line to beat the Americans.
Valencia Louis Vuitton Act 12, and with the round robin stages complete, the 12 teams gather to do battle in the knockout stages to decide the Act 12 title, the 2006 ACC Championship title and the final seedings for the Louis Vuitton Cup. No surprises as to the makeup of Division 1. Emirates Team New Zealand was unbeatable in the round robin and was ranked at the top of the pile. Luna Rossa finished second with the defender Alinghi, still in their old boat SUI 75, in third. A disappointing regatta for BMW Oracle Racing after their Act 10 title. They finished fourth. In Division 2, Desafio Espanyol won the battle for fifth over their close rivals Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia. Victory took 7th and Xoxoloza squeezed into the second division in 8th. The third division was topped by Arriva Challenge, plus 39 Challenge finished 10th, although level on points with the French team, and United Internet finished ahead of last placed China team. The 12 teams now split into 3 divisions, with the highest ranking skipper of each picking his opponent for the semi-finals.
Thierry, would you like to select your opponent in the semi-final?
Yes, it will be China team.
China team.
We are going to race Xoxoloza.
Xoxoloza.
We choose to race BMW Oracle.
BMW Oracle.
Dean Barker could have picked Alinghi or Luna Rossa, so why BMW Oracle?
In the end, we feel we've got more to learn by racing against Oracle and see what we can learn from their new boat, because we still have to design and build a second new boat for next year.
There was a definite air of anticipation at Port America's Cup as the teams headed out onto the water. All the syndicates were aware that even the slightest mistake could prove costly.
Oracle are not able to tack as Emirates Team New Zealand now tack as they bring their bow down to go behind Oracle, and Oracle have elected to let them go. Has this opened the gate for the Kiwis at the top mark, and immediately Emirates Team New Zealand coming back. Here we go with the bullying and shoving as Emirates Team New Zealand, have they completed their tack? Have they changed sides as they go head to win? White flag on board Oracle, green flag, no incident. Emirates Team New Zealand not able to make any inroad at all. On the downwind, the clock's running, we're out to 10 seconds. As Emirates Team New Zealand still come to the mark, and that's a 20-second advantage as BMW Oracle Racing, they come to the line with only half a length to go. They're late for the start line, Alinghi, they're going to be a little late. Gun goes, initial advantage there to Luna Rossa in the windward position. Again, Spittle shows his good time on distance judgment. Alinghi here have wriggled away, and I don't think Luna Rossa are advanced enough to prevent Alinghi from tacking and crossing. As Alinghi comes into the mark, Curtis Blewett mid-bow, just controlling the Jenica as it slides out under his arms as the boat comes down. Holmberg steering from the leeward wheel. Tidy set. Only 1 or 2 boat lengths in it the whole way around the track as Alinghi comes to the line, with Luna Rossa still got 3 boat lengths to sail, and the crew of Alinghi are back in winning mode. Luna Rossa on the right, Alinghi in the left as they come to the line even, and Alinghi are just going to get their nose over slightly ahead of Luna Rossa, but it's a very even with blue flag.
And they've come right back into the game here. They've actually taken the lead.
Job done, Brad Butterworth. BMW Oracle going faster as he comes up to the line, 3 seconds to go, and Emirates Team New Zealand on port also coming up. Initial advantage to Oracle at the leeward end. The American boat putting the heat on. And we can see they are overlapped and they're sailing high of the mark, well high of the mark, as Chris Dixon pushes his bow higher and higher. Now the bow comes down, he's broken the overlap as New Zealand are forced to dip below Oracle. That's an advantage to Oracle. And they're thick on the hip of Oracle. It looks to me as though we may well have a lead change. This one might have just got away. A relieving win to stay in the semi-final. And they'll go down to one final race, winner takes all tomorrow.
That was probably one of the harder days of racing that we've had since we've been here. I think we did really nice work, basically staying in both races.
Both teams are sailing so well. Tiny mistakes that maybe you don't even notice off the boat make a difference on the race course, and we'll have a fun day tomorrow.
Emirates Team New Zealand on a perfect time run to the line. Oracle a little bit late at the windward end of the line. Initial advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand. Oh, BMW Oracle. Is that their Jenica? They must have discarded it and thrown it in the water.
That's a new tactic. Do a drop, just throw it overboard.
We can see a big dip here coming from Oracle, wanting to try and swap sides as the New Zealanders are not going to fall for the trap. Oracle deep, and there'll be a flag here for sure. Did they tack in their water? Multiple flags asking the question, and the green flag. Green flag, and now who has, if Oracle have an overlap at the top mark? Brad Webb just having a bit of a look, and the New Zealand boat squeezes round the mark. Genoa still sheeted on hard. They're slightly slower than Oracle as they build their speed. There's a hold on the hoists. Can Oracle roll over the top of the New Zealand boat? They're going faster. Oracle has the advantage as the spectator boats scramble. Dixon's going round their bow. This is a crucial pass. Oracle have made the pass on the downward leg. They're accelerating away.
This is just an astonishing battle, the best that we've seen so far. It's just been neck and neck from the start line.
There's a flag sailing above your proper course. They're asking the question of the umpires. The heat's on the umpires. Is a green flag. Another flag. Protest. Another protest flag. Proper course. And we can see the delay in the umpires making a decision. They're under pressure. Lots of talk. Proper course. Big green flag. There won't be too many green flags left. Emirates Team New Zealand are under pressure, and here we go. Emirates Team New Zealand realise they need to get out of there. Beautiful jibe on Emirates Team New Zealand. Have they out-jibed BMW Oracle? Roll reversal as Oracle now look in the leeward position. At the top of their game, and win to Emirates Team New Zealand over BMW Oracle. They'll go through to the finals. This is a very good start by Dean Barker. He's judged this to perfection, to be ahead of Alinghi as they go head-to-head in the final. Let's look for an arm wrestle. Luff. Emirates Team New Zealand have managed to roll over the top, and Emirates Team New Zealand decided to get out of there. They didn't want to take the risk. That was a luff from Alinghi to get them off their hip. The New Zealanders look like they faked to do a jibe. That's the defining moment on this downwind leg. Terry Hutchinson, Dean Barker have pulled a master stroke if they can pull this one off. So Emirates Team New Zealand are going to take out the first race in the finals of Act 12. as they come down within 1 length of the line. Emirates Team New Zealand cross the line in the blue flag to take the first race. We can see Luna Rossa bringing her bow down. There's a hold signal from the bowman as they come up to the line. Whoa, that one's close.
That was close.
Is there any signal on the umpire boat? No, Spittle has judged it perfectly to nail the start against Oracle BMW.
Okay, well, there's the little bowsprit's gone on BMW Oracle Racing. There must be some penalty flags flying here in this petite final against Luna Rossa. What has happened here?
Oh, big action there. It's a leave-out tack, and BMW Oracle is smacked into the side of Luna Rossa. Did Luna Rossa tack too close? It's given BMW Oracle a bloody nose. Looks like Luna Rossa have pulled out. Shake of the fist, not happy.
We couldn't sail today, we couldn't finish the race today, and we'll be pressed to sail tomorrow.
Racing in Division 3 is now complete. Arriva won the final to take 9th position overall, and United Internet beat China Team, who once again finished bottom of the fleet. Fleet headed out onto the water for the last day of racing. Luna Rossa lost their protest against BMW Oracle and additionally were unable to race due to the damage from the collision, forfeiting the race and overall 3rd place. So the final day of action begins with the big match, and it's all or nothing for Alinghi against Emirates Team New Zealand. They're followed by the Division 2 Petite Final and then the corresponding final where the Desafio Español race Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia team. We're heading to the Romeo course and the Division 1 final.
Both boats early for the start as they come in. Emirates Team New Zealand to windward. And Emirates Team New Zealand look over the line. They run the risk of being over the line with only 8 seconds to go. 5 seconds to go as Emirates Team New Zealand split tack start. There's the gun. Emirates Team New Zealand are over. Emirates Team New Zealand premature start as Alinghi win the start on starboard tack. Emirates Team New Zealand ahead at mark number 1. They're stuck together like a piece of bungee. They're going to the right-hand mark. We can see it, and there's the spinnaker cut. Halyards let go. String takedown as the retriever cord pulls the Jenica into the forward hatch. Alinghi, are they going to follow in or take the left-hand mark? Emirates Team New Zealand coming round the gate, mark number 2. Barker executing the mark rounding as the bow rotates to the left, up on the wind. Where are Alinghi? What mark? They've gone to the left hand. There is separation. It is a move by the Alinghi team to get into the New Zealanders.
There's absolutely nothing in this.
And Emirates Team New Zealand, the starboard boat, they have the rights. Alinghi dipping. In the action yesterday, the boat tacking must keep clear. They are clear, allowing Alinghi to survive in the windward position. The New Zealanders certainly were conservative on the tack, but Alinghi were out of there.
On the run for home. In this Division 1 final, Emirates Team New Zealand one up over Alinghi. Expect kitchen sinks and all sorts to be thrown by the Swiss as they move into the last chance leg.
This will be the moment where Alinghi, if they're going to make a charge, here they go, here go the Kiwis, this is the moment. Can they complete the jibe? Oh, Alinghi didn't go with them. Alinghi elected to not go with them. Were they ready? Alinghi have carried on. Emirates Team New Zealand managed to get out of the grip. Now, what happens now? Oh, the New Zealanders might have a problem there. Did they have a... Yes, they got a problem on the New Zealand boat. First crew error. There's a problem. What's happening? The pole is not on the forestay. The sail is not full. That's the first time the pressure has got to the New Zealand team. And that will give the lead to Alinghi.
Alinghi regaining their winning ways to square this match and take us into another decider. Brilliant sailing by Alinghi. Desafio Espanyol, as expected, got the better of those Latin rascals to claim 5th place, reaffirming their reputation as the dark horse of the fleet. Victory Challenge got the better of Shosholoza once again to claim overall 6th. The South Africans finished 9th.
Emirates Team New Zealand just waiting. Here come Alinghi up behind Emirates Team New Zealand with 26 seconds to go. So Alinghi have maybe the advantage of the right as they come up, 5 seconds to go. Emirates Team New Zealand in the leeward position, Alinghi in the windward position as they come off the line, even start. Alinghi holding the right-hand advantage as they exit the start line. Now what have we got this time? Can Emirates Team New Zealand cross? Alinghi have actually put their bowsprit out, so there's a bit more length, a bit more starboard advantage for Alinghi with the bowsprit hanging out the bow of the boat as Emirates Team New Zealand come right up into the water of Alinghi. Now Alinghi this time want to stay in the windward position. They're taking that weather gauge. Holmberg there just paralleling, no overlap. That means Emirates Team New Zealand are clear ahead at the 2 boat length circle. Peter Holmberg will need to let the Kiwis round the mark first. New Zealand have the advantage at Mark 1 of the final. Can they now attack downwind? You betcha they can. Alinghi will be all over Emirates Team New Zealand on the downwind. So at Mark 1, Emirates Team New Zealand lead. Alinghi are going to have to follow the Kiwis in. Because of the wind change, we can hear the change of course signalled by the race officers. New Zealand will be able to consolidate their lead because of the bias of the starting of the bottom mark gate as Alinghi bring their bow around to trail Emirates Team New Zealand at mark number 2 by, it looks like, around 19 seconds. So Emirates Team New Zealand are going to take out this regatta, only losing 2 races.
Emirates Team New Zealand take out Louis Vuitton Act 12.
It's nice to see our team respond as well as it did when the pressure was on. You know, with all that said, you know, you still have to remember that Alinghi's sailing a 3-year-old boat.
You know, a bit disappointed, but good on them, and hopefully we can turn the tables next time we see them, if we see them.
The Louis Vuitton ranking looks like this. In the bottom half, plus 39 challenge are just ahead of Arriva, although equal on points. Shosholoza are in 9th, but well clear of the 2 stragglers, United Internet and China Team. In the top half, with Alinghi as defender out of the picture, it's tight between Desafio Espanyol, Mascalzoni Latino Capitalia Team and Victory. However, it's Emirates Team New Zealand who top the table, just ahead of BMW Oracle and Luna Rossa. That's it for Valencia Louis Vuitton Act 12. Join us for Act 13 next year. Until then, goodbye.